Well, I'm back. Hello, it's Friday, the 17th of November. This is James Spann with a weather update. And again, first off, thanks to all of you for your support, prayers, and concern. Had a little health scare for those that were not aware Monday night. A little unexpected surgery, but I am back and feeling like a whole new man. And back at the TV station on Monday, and I promise I will shave by Monday. Maybe not, but I will shave. But let's talk about weather. We got some pretty big changes coming up as we approach Thanksgiving. Let's go right to the upper air look early this morning. And the first feature to watch today, there is a trough north of the state. That trough coming through the Midwest and the Great Lakes. That will be pushing a cold front through here tonight. And that will bring a band of showers. Nothing heavy, nothing really important, but the more meaningful rain event coming in here early next week, probably late Monday night into Tuesday. We do note this morning in advance of that front a little light rain falling in parts of West Tennessee and Arkansas. And there could be a few showers over northwest Alabama this afternoon, but the better chance of any showers across Alabama most likely will be tonight. It's a calm morning across the United States. That's the current watch warning map. We've got a dense fog advisory for parts of South Texas. No severe storms expected today. There could be a few pockets of thunder across the country. Tomorrow, a chance of thunderstorms over sections of the western U.S. And then on day 3, which is Sunday, we have a marginal risk, which is level 1 out of level 5, over parts of Oklahoma and North Texas along Interstate 35, Oklahoma City, down toward Dallas-Fort Worth. And then on Monday, which is day 4, we have a risk of severe storms defined from East Texas through parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, and the southern two-thirds of Mississippi. And keep in mind, this outlook runs through 6 a.m. Tuesday. And again, you can see at this point, no part of Alabama involved in this. The outlook yesterday did include parts of west and southwest Alabama. The reason for this, the models have slowed the system down. And it looks like the main round of rain and storms will actually be after 6 a.m. Tuesday. And at the moment, it looks like the instability values will be a little too low, the surface low, a little too weak for a major severe weather problem. That could change, but again, for now, Alabama not in a formal severe weather risk as defined by the Storm Prediction Center. Here's a look at rain for the next 7 days. And again, rain amounts generally between 1 and 2 inches for much of the state. And the bulk of this will be with the feature Tuesday of next week. And we'll dive much more into this in modeling in just a second. And if you missed it, this is the new drought monitor released yesterday. And this product comes out once a week on Thursday morning. And as expected, the drought continues to intensify. And yes, we've had some light rain since last week, but not enough to really change the drought. In fact, the conditions continue to intensify. Parts of northeast and northwest Alabama now in an exceptional drought, a D4, an extreme drought down to Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and Gadsden. And a pretty good chunk in the state, and either a D2, 3, or 4 drought. But again, hopefully that rain next week will start a process of getting us out of this. So in the tropics, getting close to the end of the season. Hurricane season wraps up at the end of this month. However, we have one feature that the Hurricane Center is watching in the Caribbean, which is called Potential Tropical Cyclone 22, PTC 22. And this thing is fairly disorganized. The hurricane hunters got in there yesterday and found a very broad circulation. And there's some school of thought this might become a depression or storm. And that's the reason this was considered now a PTC type system. And this is the track from the Hurricane Center. They bring it up to a tropical storm by late tonight, coming into the eastern tip of Cuba. And if this becomes a tropical storm, the name will be Vince. And then it quickly becomes a post-tropical system over the weekend and fizzles out south of Bermuda. And again, this will have a really hard time intensifying because of shear and just the broad size of this thing. It's not a tight tropical system. One way or the other, this will not affect the United States. So a lot to talk about in the modeling here. Model fans, here we go. This is the GFS. This is the 06Z run, valid today at 4 o'clock. And again, we've got this trough north of the state, and that's going to be pushing a surface boundary through here tonight. This is the synoptic scale look at 4 o'clock today. Let's go to the high-res HER, valid this evening at 6 o'clock. I'm sorry, now 5 o'clock. We're back on the time change now. This is 5 o'clock this afternoon. And again, evidence there could be a few showers over northwest and west Alabama this afternoon. And again, a chance of showers statewide tonight. But with limited moisture, this will not be a big rain event. You might get enough to settle the dust. And that's about it. And this is tomorrow. All of that's gone. The sky becoming sunny. Pretty pleasant day. The high will be in the 60s for North Alabama, low 70s for the southern half of the state. We see no rain for the college football games across the state tomorrow. Should be a very pleasant day. Same thing on Sunday. We'll start the day around 40, maybe some of the colder pockets seeing upper 30s. The high Sunday, again, 60s for North Alabama, 70s for the southern counties of the state. And this is Monday, and again, the models are trending toward a less dynamic, weaker system than what we saw a couple of days ago. And now that that feature is getting into the American Upper Air Network, confidence is a little higher. But again, it sure looks like Monday will now be dry here and fairly mild with highs in the 70s. And then the system comes in here on Tuesday. This is the GFS, and again, there's no strong surface low. This is the instability, and obviously there's basically nothing off the GFS, especially if that rain starts early Tuesday morning. And obviously with no instability, there would be not a concern with severe storms. Let's look at the European. This is their flash density product. This is valid Tuesday at noon. And again, it's even slower than the American GFS. It suggests it might be Tuesday afternoon before the storms get in here. And there's a little bit of instability, a sliver on the European, but not much. So, again, at the moment, it looks like the chance of rain and storms very high on Tuesday. The chance of organized severe weather relatively low on Tuesday. But remember, we need to get within that 60-hour window to get a good look at this. That's when we can see the convection-allowing models. And we'll be within that window, obviously, over the weekend. So just kind of keep an eye on the forecast. But again, for now, Alabama not in a formal severe weather risk on Tuesday. So let's go to Wednesday. This is Thanksgiving Eve, the busiest travel day of the year, according to many. And for much of the country, no problem. Here in Alabama, the day will be very cool, highs in the 50s. But the sky should clear. It should be a dry day. And again, this is Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve. The biggest problem, obviously, New York City and Boston, if you're flying. I would not want to fly into Logan if this works out. A deep surface low is centered around Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. And that would be very windy and maybe wet and maybe snowy. How about that? And New York City could see some snow Thanksgiving Eve if this works out. So just be ready for some airport delays there. And Thanksgiving Day for Alabama looking pretty cool. In fact, Thanksgiving morning we'll probably see a freeze for many spots, maybe some 20s for the colder pockets, the high in the low 50s for North Alabama, mid to upper 50s for the south. So temperatures below average. We note the GFS depicting the next wave west of the state. And this is a week from today. And again, we got a big trough coming in here. And that would suggest some chance of rain around Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. And again, consistency has not been good with this idea. But again, Thanksgiving Day looking dry. Maybe some rain for the following Friday. And let's keep going. This is Saturday. This is Iron Bowl Saturday. And that's a big deal if you're new to Alabama, a slightly big deal. I would suggest this might be the most important forecast of the year. You don't want to foul this one up. And understand, we're more than a week out, but the signal here suggests the day will be cool and pleasant in Auburn. The game is in Auburn this year, Alabama and Auburn, with highs in the upper 50s. Just a perfect, cool, crisp football Saturday. But word of caution, we all know this could easily change. This is out 10 days. This is that Sunday, the 26th, a zonal flow, and we are in a dry air mass. So this is rain for Birmingham coming off the European ensemble. The mean about 2 inches between now and early December. We'll check the numbers coming off the NBM National Blend of Models. This is for Birmingham. Your number could vary. About 72 today. Should be the warmest day of the next 10 days. Then 67 tomorrow and Sunday. 70 Monday. And then on Tuesday, with that batch of rain and storms, the high close to 65, and then a big drop-off by Wednesday and Thanksgiving with highs in the low 50s. And again, we know Thanksgiving morning, we've got 32 for Birmingham, which means many of the colder pockets will likely see upper 20s to start the day Thanksgiving morning. And that following weekend, Iron Bowl weekend, highs in the 50s and lows mostly in the 30s. And the latest 8 to 14-day guidance, this is for November 24th through November 30th. We are in the blue. Temperatures below average if this works out. How about that rainbow yesterday down in Foley? Awfully nice and really a glorious sunset on the Gulf Coast. We're getting into the time of the year where the sun goes down over the water now. It was taken at the Perdido Pass. I've been on those rocks many times over the years, but just a very nice scene with some scattered clouds. And up this way, the sun going down was very nice as well. That was the sunset at Lake Guntersville. So goodness, I have missed so many weather programs this week because of, and for those that don't know, I obviously had to stay in the hospital for a couple of days for the post-surgery recovery. And I'm so sorry. My calendar is jammed. And when I miss these, I just don't like that. But I'm out of service again today. I was scheduled to be in Auburn today at Drake Middle School. And I'm so sorry. But it was so kind to see a couple of the teachers from Hoax Bluff Elementary brought a big cake down and a big get well card and a shirt, and that was just so outstanding. It just warmed my heart. So, but the surgeon said you're good to go Monday to get back on the road. So we'll get the schedule going back next week. And again, I will not be on the television side tonight. Thanks to Riley Blackwell for filling in. Again, they just want me to keep it here for one more day. So back in service Monday. We will be doing another video here on the social media platforms this afternoon. Thank you guys for watching. Have a marvelous Friday, and God bless.